All right, so this is the Bears and the Bees, and like I said, it's a really quick one to demo. I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown. And the best way to learn this game is honestly to play a condensed round, and it'll take just a couple minutes, and I'll show you guys how it works. So, Bears and the Bees begins every game with the Queen Bee, who is placed in the center of the table. Queen Bee is the special card, or is the starting card of every round, and she is wild on all of her sides, which the honey in the game is always wild. All of the cards in the game have colors around their edges. We're going to give a few to each one of you guys here. So normally with 5 players, we'd play with 8 cards each, but we're going to do just a really brief demo of this. So we'll just start off with 6 cards, and we'll play until I teach the rules, and then we'll end the game here. This should be enough to give us a little taste of how it works. Okay. So.
I think I only got 5. Is this
Did you only
payback
5?
for skulking? I'm just teasing.
Oh,
I've got
you're
6.
trying to go through your cards, so that'd be a good thing for you. So it's a hand elimination game. You're trying to play through the cards in your hand first in order to go out. They are quite beautiful.
Chakra.
Yeah. And you're going to start the game off by flipping over a card from the deck and placing it at the top of the Queen Bee. Keep in mind that any color can touch the Queen Bee because she is a wild card, because the honey is wild. From this point on, every card played has to touch 2 other cards that are in play. And the other thing you need to know is that the Queen Bee can only be touched by honeycomb cards. Those are the ones that have no image in their center. They just have the honeycomb. So I'm going to go ahead and place this for my first turn, and then.
So you do 2 placings each.
So I could not place this because there's bees in it.
You could place it over here,
but not here.
But not there because it says.
And I couldn't place it there.
So this one was played off the deck. You flip over the first card from the deck to start it, and then we play 1 card per turn. So this is a worker bee card. This is one of the special cards in the game. When you play a worker bee, you get to force one other player of your choice to draw a card. So who's drawing?
Please take a card.
Please take a card.
Please take a card.
Please do.
Appreciate that.
Right.
No dark horse on this one.
I guess we'll just be nice and casual here.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to keep it nice and tidy because I'm OCD like that. My pro tip for you is if you leave a little bit of a gap in your cards, it keeps you from shifting them. All right, so who's drawing now?
Yep, you played bees.
You played
Jeff.
Draw.
Jeff,
Why not?
Thank you.
Why not?
Got a little revenge for me being mean to you last round here.
It's an exchange for
Okay,
the
so
crackers.
that's one of the special cards that we've seen. I'm gonna expose a couple more as we're talking here, and I'm gonna tell you about some more. This is a flower card. A flower card. There are 5 of them in the game. There's 1 for each color, and they're difficult to play because they're all 1 color. But when you're able to place a flower card, it forces all other players to draw a card instead of one other player. Okay, please, is it your turn? Drop it in. Okay.
So kind.
And this gives me an opportunity to introduce a new mechanic and a new card type. So this is a drone card. A drone is half honey and half 1 color. So it's kind of the best way to think of it as a wild card. The reason why drones are really handy is a drone.
So is this a drone?
That's a drone as well, yep.
Okay.
They're really great for playing in spots that connect with more than 2 cards. And if I play this one here and it touches 3 cards instead of 2, I get to take an additional turn. And that is the hook of the game, is being able to string together your plays in order to take multiple actions per
Anytime
turn.
a card touches 3, or
Any-
just when a drone?
No, anytime any card touches 3. These are just easier to do it with.
Okay, and the orange is honey, so that's why you
Orange
can
is
line up
honey,
with
which
the
is
purple.
why that matches there. And the honey, if you look closely, is translucent on there. The rest of them represent the flower petals of the flower that they correspond with. So like the green here is got clover leaves around the edges because it's the green clover card.
Well, let me give you a chance to introduce another game mechanic.
All right, and you already figured out where that goes. Why do you think you could play that there?
Because there's honey.
There's honey. So a bear can only be played connecting to honey. You can't play it anywhere else. When a bear is placed, it blocks the hive. Nothing else can be played touching it for the remainder of the game. In addition to that, you get to take any card from your hand and give it to any other player.
Oh.
So
Brutal. Your friend.
It's a good opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
One other thing to know about bears, though, is bears do not earn bonus plays. So if you place that in a spot where it's connected to a bunch of other cards, you only get to play that on your turn there.
I'm going to
Oh, very nice.
chain a
So
turn together
that's a
here.
bonus play you just earned. A good thing to note as well is if you can't use your bonus play, there's no penalty. You just would end your turn. If there's ever a time where you can't play a card, period, then you have 2 choices. You can either draw a card from the deck, or you can discard a card from your hand and draw 2 new cards to replace it. Oh, I just realized that like these are supposed to be a little larger than the cards because it got
Because I shrunk it.
Okay,
yeah.
I was like,
yeah, I shrunk it to the
I screwed up
47
my math on
inches.
that.
No, that's yeah.
It's a tight
I thought
squeeze.
of, like if we hadn't run out of time, I was gonna text you and be like, "Hey, is it okay if I
So
shrink
do I do
these?"
a third one?
Oh, it
You
works
take
just
another
fine,
action.
honestly.
I
Yeah.
do.
It doesn't have to line up perfectly. So this one doesn't
No.
work
Well, I
there, but you
mean-
can go right here and make
There?
it work.
Okay.
Because those are honey on both sides. So you need to take a second.
And then I do another one.
For 3,
What
you
if I
can't play
leave-
on the bear.
Can't touch
What
this
if I
one.
lose all my cards?
You win.
Then you win.
Nope.
That one doesn't go
That's
there.
great.
You can play right here though.
Yes.
Yep, right there. Perfect.
So what's the difference with having the purple matchup?
Because your
They
purple
always-
is matching
match
everything,
green.
honey.
everything touches half the
Oh,
match,
got
right?
it, got it, got it.
Green is
Okay.
green, but over here you're trying to put green on red
Got
and
it,
purple on
okay.
purple. You're down to 1 card. Do you have to say?
Say Uno.
You know.
Say Beehive.
All right, and I'm gonna introduce one of the last mechanics here, which is one of my very favorites
Everybody
in the
gives
game,
Wendy her
is
cards.
that if someone is taking forever on their turn, everyone can start buzzing like a bee. And once,
It's just
and once all players are buzzing, that person's turn immediately ends. I gotta be careful that because what goes around comes around with the honey or the buzz rule. All right, so I played that. That's a 3-sided play,
Turn.
and then I'm gonna play.
Jenna would be doing so well if you hadn't cursed me with your card.
I'm gonna drop this guy in over here. All right, so now if anyone's got any worker bees, we got Wendy over here about to go out. So if you want to use those attack cards, if you've got them. Oh, very nice.
Wait.
That work?
Yes, because honey and honey.
Oh, nice.
Boom.
Okay,
So draw a card.
and I'm
And I
gonna,
get another action.
and you get another action. So we're playing right now with the basic rules of the game. This play in the advanced rules of the game would have earned you a bonus play. In addition to that, because this worker bee is played touching 3 cards instead of 2, you would have been able to force someone to draw 2 cards instead of 1, or split that 2 cards up between 2 different players. Same goes with the flowers. If you play a flower touching 3 cards
Everyone
instead of
else
2,
draws 2.
everyone else has to draw 2. Play with 4 cards instead of 3, everyone else has to draw 3. And same with the bonus plays. If I play a card with 4 sides connecting, I get 2 additional turns instead of 1 additional turn. So the more difficult the action you take, it is always rewarded with a greater reward.
That's awesome.
So that's when it gets to be really strategic and thinky, is when you're able to do those advanced actions. All right.
G-Man.
Okay. So we'll just go.
And you're scheming over here. I see
Wait a
it.
second. There we go. So this piece of it here. I'm very bad at spatial puzzles. So I get an extra turn.
You're doing good. I mean, playing cards.
And then I get to.
It is definitely a
I don't
game if
feel
you're
like I
not
can play.
into spatial. Took games. It's like my dad. He doesn't do that kind of game. He's just like, I don't get it. It's like doing a puzzle. I hate puzzles.
Started a game company for a reason.
Competitive
All right.
puzzle.
Well,
That's honestly, it's like
Jenner
the
draw
drag to a lot of
card.
people. It's like it's
Why
competitive. but-
me?
Because you made
What do
me
you have?
take one
I
of
only
your
had one.
cards. Oh! zzz.
Oh, you only get to play one unless you play one.
Unless you
just
play
3.
it with 3 touching.
Just have 3 on the
But
other.
you gotta
It has
force
to
him to
touch
draw.
3.
In order to, I don't see any spot you can do
So
that.
I get it here.
No, that doesn't work.
I don't think
You're not
so.
gonna let it work.
Because the blue and green don't
Don't
match.
work.
Blue.
It doesn't work
It
anywhere.
doesn't work
work.
anywhere except for right here.
I can
You
scan
can
the
do
board
that.
real
You
quick.
just
You gotta
did this.
keep that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta keep
And
that
pick
one.
someone to draw a card. Probably Jordan, because he wouldn't let you play.
Who has one?
Jenner's got
I've got
2.
2.
I
Jeff
got
has
2.
2.
Please, that's 5.
Please stay strong.
He's 5.
All right, Jenner, draw a card.
All right.
All right, please. What you got?
Oh, Drifter has a good question.
Take another
All
one.
right, I'll take on the turn there. What's the question, Drifter?
Drifter's question is, does the game come with a Hive-looking board?
No, I
play
wish.
it out?
I wish.
Okay.
I designed this literally like 4 hours
And
ago.
then his follow-up question, and I've actually never been able to like talk to the person who owns the rights to the artwork,
Uh-huh.
but would we be able to resell if they wanted to buy something like
Oh, the
this,
mats.
since you guys own the
Oh,
actual artwork?
honestly, this artwork here, if you guys want it, I can make it available for you guys to download it and print it yourself. I'd be happy to do that.
Cool.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. And then if you guys wanted it printed to scale, we always just charge like the cost plus a couple bucks to
right,
help
you
cover
done
the cost
there?
of the printer. So
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we could
drop
definitely
this
make that
guy
happen.
here.
Excellent.
It's gonna earn me a 3-sided plate, and
And
Game?
boom, game.
Landon.
Well
done.
I knew
Here
I should
is
have
the
had
size
the
of a
draw
card in the
Dang
palm
it.
of my hand.
Yes, they are the same width of a poker card.
Oh, okay. So
So
2.5
2.5
inches,
inches.
same size
Yep.
as Magic card for those of you guys
Exactly,
who play
yep.
Magic.
And that is the bears and the bees, guys. So the way
That one
the way
was
it'd work,
really good.
the way that it'd work is at the end of the round. Now you show everyone what you have left in your hand. You get 5 points for Honeycomb, 10 points for special cards, 15 points for bears. It's the lowest score at the end of 3 rounds. So you'd shuffle the cards back up, deal them back out, put the queen bee out, and you start over again.
That
This
is
is a very quick
super
game.
fun.
Super cool.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's this is like what I call like my Sunday afternoon game. It's just relaxing. It's at 2 players. There's one thing I need to change in the rules, which I forgot to do in this last printing, and that's the flower cards always force another player to draw 2 instead of 1 by default, so that it has a greater power than the worker bees when you're playing with just 2 players. Otherwise, it would be worker bees would be
So
equal,
good.
and the flowers are really hard to play. We didn't have a flower come out, which just luck of the draw there. But they're super tricky to play. Like right now, for example, if I had a yellow flower in my hand, there's not a single place I can place that, even as large as the board is. If I had a red flower in my hand, there's a spot there. A purple flower, not a spot. Green flower, not a spot.
Green with the honey.
Oh, you're right. Green and honey. Blue flower.
No.
No.
No. So
Yeah.
they're real
And
tricky
that
to
makes
play.
everyone draw?
That makes everyone else draw. So the game, the thing I really love about it, what I'm kind of anal about in my design is that I want an action to always be fitting with the difficulty of the thing that a person has done within a
Right.
game. And that is what I think creates satisfaction. It also creates a feeling of if you're the person who is drawing a card because someone else played a flower, you're not upset about it because it is something that's difficult, and so you feel like you're being aptly punished by them, essentially by the action that they've taken. In this game, I love the symmetry of it and the way that the mechanics just really blend beautifully with the difficulty of each card placement. So that's the bears and the bees, guys.
Really cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
It's a really great game.
That's a
I
cool
enjoyed
game.
that.
Yeah, so thank you guys for playing it.
Thanks.
Oh, thanks for taking another 10 minutes out of your time.
No, thank you guys
Yeah.
for that was a lot longer than my 3-minute demo, I promise. There.
Oh, it was worth it. And everyone on Discord and Twitch, we are signing off. So thank you guys for joining us.